everybody, and welcome back to Moments of Love. If you are new here, I'm Wemi. This is my husband Dave, and that little sound is Miss Fiara, who had a headband on and has lost it. Would you like to put a headband back on?
She's saying, "Where is it?"
Put a headband back on to make your debut. Mom, you got me out here.
Hey!
Hey!
Is that better? Sorry.
There you go. All right. So, sorry for that sidebar. So we are here today to talk. Oh, and we have a fourth kid, Alio. I just realized I didn't finish
Second kid.
Second kid, fourth member of the family, Alio, who is 6 years old. Fiara is 6 months, going on 7 months in a couple of days. And yeah, that's our little family.
Alio's being the director on this video.
So you may or may not hear him. But today we are here to kind of continue our last video where we talked about what we are doing differently and what we have done differently with baby number 2 who loves to test her voice compared to baby number 1. So today's, or this video, yes you, this video we are going to go more into our parenting style, choices, differences, decisions that we have found so far in our 6 months into this journey. Because I'm sure we'll have a lot more that'll change over the next few years. But 6 months in, this is what we've been doing differently. If you want to learn more about that, keep on watching.
So we try to learn from her, learn from her lead.
Yes,
I guess, right?
Yes,
we know where the direction, but we try to do that. I think the only thing different is we are more conscious about it to talk to each other about it.
Yeah.
I think we'd always naturally done that. Now it's just more we call attention to it so that we, make it more of a priority. I would say, we still know where the destination we want to get to is, but we let her kind of figure out different ways to help get there, kind of thing. So I would say that's one thing. I don't know, because the thing is with the parenting of her at this point is more about keeping her alive and apparently cutting her fingernails, because that really hurts. You got me.
I was supposed to do that last night and I forgot.
Yeah,
oh no.
Got little daggers.
Yeah, her fingernails grow like
here you go.
Weeds, I tell you.
And so I think that's the thing is there's most of the parenting duties up until now is just keeping her alive, keeping her happy, teaching her, educating her, kind of thing. But it's there's no there's not a lot of beyond that, right? You're just showing love. You're trying to cuddle as much as possible. One of the things that we do differently is in terms of routine is I used to put Alio down every night. Now I still put Alio down, and so when we put Fiara down, so we divide and conquer a little bit.
And
we try. Sorry, go ahead.
See, that's one thing I have noticed we do differently, not intentionally, and I've been trying to make up for it. Is with Alio, because we're 2 people on 1 child, it's a lot easier to do things together. So we always, during bedtime routine, one person would be feeding her, other person would be reading, not her, him, feeding him. The other parent would be reading to him. One parent is, putting on his nightly, cream and all of that, and the other parent would be reading to him. Whereas now with Fiara, because we're dividing and conquering, I find we don't do that anymore. We now have to be more intentional to read to her. I find at night, we still try to get it in during the day, during playtime, but I find our nighttime reading is significantly less than it was with Alio.
So you gotta step it up, Ma.
It's hard. I really try every night, but by the time the routine's done and she starts eating, she falls asleep and she's so tired. And that was why with Alio it was great, because while doing the routine of getting you dressed, we were reading, right? And I can't read while putting your clothes on. I just can't do both.
And I think it was more the routine for him started earlier or was longer or something. She is very much I'm tired, I'm going to sleep, and I don't think we start it's essentially
I would say we'd start.
Actually, the one difference is because now we'll go up, I'll be doing dishes and you'll head up. Sometimes you'll wait for me to finish dishes, sometimes you'll go up before or during whatever, but it's that alone is kind of a difference. I don't even know when I did dishes with Alio. It was just kind of way more sporadic.
He went to bed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was after he went to bed. Because
Yeah.
that's when I would do my own thing, was
Right.
after he went to sleep. And you would do the dishes and watch The Simpsons or whatever. Watching Suits. You're watching Suits.
Oh yeah,
back.
because I have my iPad
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I remember that now.
So, yeah, that is definitely something we have felt
It's just different.
with having two kids. It's you know, it's the reality of you don't have four hands on deck at all times.
Yeah.
You have two.
All right, and you can, and like I think it's one of the areas though that we want to incorporate Elio into it
Yeah.
as well, and that he can read. We should be getting him to do more of that routine, make him have a routine with her, and we haven't done a lot of that yet, and
No,
that's
we
mainly because she was not. Like he wouldn't be able to read and hold her. Now she can sit by herself, kind of thing, right? And so those things are just starting, and to be able to kind of take advantage of them is like those are things I think we would want to do and will do, and so I don't know, I don't think like the night times she's been a good nighttime sleeper for the most part. So other than just when she was a baby and having to wake up in the middle of the night, that was still roughly the same. We wake up, and feed her, change her bum, and feed her, and put her back to sleep, and that was kind of it. Like I don't know. What kind of other things are you thinking?
Just broadly, like just talking about things that are different. I think another thing is, we touched on this in our previous video. Is I think we are a lot more open. We have less of that first-time parent fear on feeding. I think with Elio, we're a lot more just like, should we feed him this? Should we not? So because of that, I think we didn't introduce him to as much food as early as we've introduced her to food.
True.
When we started feeding him, we started with baby mums and like those types of things.
The crackers that dissolve.
The crackers that dissolve. She's never had that because she's just eating regular food. We didn't do that with Elio because we were nervous. We didn't know. We're like, but he has no teeth, so he can only eat food that dissolves. Yeah. Which isn't necessarily true. They can gum. There's a lot of foods you can gum on. Yeah. And I think that's one of the big things we've done differently with her that seems to be working out really well. Right now, she's stretching out her shirt. I'm not sure what. Oh, she wants to see the strawberry.
She's trying to. So I've eaten strawberries, guys.
You want to see the strawberries?
That's what she's saying, right?
Yeah.
We know you've eaten strawberries, and she likes strawberries. She
does like
all the sweet.
That is something different.
I know.
She's got quite the sweet tooth that her brother does not have.
Nope.
And she's also very loud. That is a difference, I think, between the two of them, like two kids. Yep, they say, your kids are different. Miss Yep. Okay. Don't talk about you. Miss Fiara is she's a very loud crier. Editing this video is going to be really hard to edit out these screeches that are happening. Are we done?
Nope.
You need to leave? Do we need a minute to get out our screeches and our sillies?
You just come here and give me a hug.
Yes, Miss Fiara is much louder than Elio was. He was a quiet and I'd say a short crier, whereas she is a very loud crier.
She's also a 0 to 60.
Very 0 to 60. She doesn't really give you warning. I mean, she does give you warning, but it's one quick, I'm letting you know I'm hungry. And that's it. And if you don't respond accordingly, she turns up immediately.
And I think it's funny, like some are like they're like sometimes like you're thinking of like getting ready for bed and those times when she's awake. The ones that scare the heck out of me are when she's asleep and then all of a sudden it just wakes up into a terror scream and it's like, oh my goodness, she must have had a horrible dream or something. And so those are funny and more what I was meaning, how a lot of babies, they'll kind of take a little bit of build up to get to their loudest. Yeah. Not Miss Fee.
Not Fiara. No, she's just always ready to go.
Not Miss Fee.
Her personality has been very interesting. When she was new here, she had a lot of trust issues with us. I say that to mean she was very much I need to be alone type of baby.
She wanted some alone time.
Yeah, she wanted alone time,
That was
and
all. Trust
and it
issues.
was, I know, I was just making a joke. But she enjoyed her alone time
Yeah.
when she was first born, in that she was very happy, you know, when you cuddled her and held her close. But when she was done, nothing would satisfy her until you put her down by herself and just leave her alone. And then she'd be completely fine. Not hungry, not a diaper change, nope. I just need you to stop touching me. That's essentially what it was. And
that was nothing like Lyle.
yeah, nothing at all like
Lyle
him.
was either eat, sleep, or change a bum.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Then he was fine.
as long, if you did all three of those, he would never cry.
Yeah.
And it's so funny just thinking back to those and those times, and it's like, you know, he's crying, and you're just like, I swear I've done everything, and then it's like, oh wait, I didn't
do
change
this.
his bum.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, silly.
Yeah.
And so he was very predictable. She had a little bit, has a little bit more personality to
Yes.
her early on.
Yes, definitely. Her personality shines through much more at her younger age.
And but the handling of it is no different. You know, just try to identify what she's, because once we learn that she does like some alone time, okay,
Then it was
give her
easy
some
to
alone
just
time
put her
every
down
now
and
then.
walk away.
See if that's what it was, and yeah, all of a sudden she's happy.
Grandma did not have an easy
No.
of a time with that because, as we know, grandmas love their grandbabies. So it's like my mom, Mom, just leave her alone. I think she's done playing with you now. My mom wasn't having it. I'm like, no, she just wants you to put her down. That's why she's crying.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how grandmas are. They can't do that. So she'd keep trying to console her, and I'd tell her, nothing you do is going to work until you just put her down and stop singing, stop the fussing. That's the one thing about her as well, is she's not a big fussing over me baby. She's not a fan of that. She likes things to be very gentle and calm and easy and go at her own speed. If she wants to, you know, play and interact, go with her lead, is I think 100% how Fiara is you gotta let her lead.
Except with Dad. Dad wrestles with her when she doesn't even welcome it, and she has lots of fun. Every time I do this, right? Right? Right?
Yeah.
We can always make her smile. Right?
Yeah, so I think that's just one of the different ways that she has taught us. With Elia, we had zero concerns with traveling with him on airplanes. With Fiara, I've got some concerns because, as we said, she goes from 0 to 60, and that is not ideal in an airplane.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And she's also not easy to console once she gets to 60. She, like, if she's hungry and you didn't feed her immediately, once you do give her that bottle, she's still yelling at you as she's drinking. She is getting those sounds out in between breaths. Like, and another thing. She goes on for quite a while once she's upset. So I think that's something that we're going to have to, whenever we're ready for our first trip, we're going to have a game plan of how to keep her from getting to 60 while traveling so that we don't disrupt people. Because we never had that issue with Elia. He was very, very good. Would travel with him. As soon as you fed him and changed his butt, he was good. And if you didn't, he'd say, and then you'd feed him and change his butt, and he was good. She just screams. Anything else, Dad? Oh, yeah, I'll let you talk about that.
What?
Putting things in her mouth.
Oh, everything. Yeah. No, right now she's chewing on my thumb, and she's very, very curious. She's a curious little one, and that's great. But it's like it's a disinterested curiosity.
Yes.
It's a very funny. You know, sometimes you get babies who are just like mesmerized by new things, by toys, by whatever, this, that, and the other thing. Fiara just sees it and is like, whatever. I could put that in my mouth, but you know, if I didn't, it didn't matter. It's just kind of a go with the flow kind of spirit to her, and so I think that's really, really funny. But I think we leverage that. Like, we want her to explore and you know, do things that not what do you call it, like, not tester gums, but like worker gums a little, and then, you know, that's all good and healthy. And so whether it's my thumb or an actual toy, we try to make it the actual toys as much as possible, but my thumb works out well too.
Sure does. Yeah, like Dave said, we're definitely finding that it's a pro and a con, because I think that's what leads her to be so eager of an eater, is she's always ready. Like, put it in my mouth. I don't care what it is. It's going in my mouth. So she's very eager to eat. So that's the great part of that. But then, yeah, the downside is we have to be more aware of what's around her, because Elias put
Legos.
0 things in his mouth. It was never a concern with Elias. Whereas for her, because she'll put every toy in her mouth, it's now an issue. With Elias, all he would put in his mouth was his teething toys when he was actively teething.
Yeah.
But once he wasn't, he was fine.
And I think that's one of the things, like, for us as parents, like, trying to, figure out how to do that is with Elias. He's now 6. He plays with Legos. Legos are not exactly friendly for Miss Fee. And so, trying to make sure that, that's just a closer watch on parenting. And, like, obviously it's a teachable moment with him, but it's very critical for us to watch it. And that wasn't nearly the same with Elias, because even if there was something lying around that we, didn't intend, there was still very, very little risk to it, because he absolutely had no interest. She'd choose on her hand.
Yeah, she'd
choose on her
books,
feet, and all the toys, on books, on all food, and everything is willing to go under her mouth. Whereas, just wasn't like that for him. So that's just, something to be aware of for us.
Kind of along that line is, the other day we were playing on her mat, and there was a book that Elias had, because obviously she has a lot of the books that Elias grew up with are now hers to play with and read. And there was a book that I was reading to her, and I put the book down and turned around, and it was in her mouth, and she had chewed the edges. It's like, little girl, this book lasted 6 years with 0 frayed edges. You get a hold of it for a minute, and the edges are all frayed because it went straight in her mouth the second she got a hold of it. So we are just keeping an eye on that as it evolves, as she gets older and starts to be more mobile. That's definitely one of our points for sure. Anything else? I think also being a baby that was born when she was born, I think we're going to be able to leverage a lot more summer activities for her that we didn't get to do with Elias, so I am looking forward to that. Because he was born in spring, so through summer he wasn't exactly sitting up well enough to be able to enjoy summer activities, whereas I think in her case she's now old enough that she can sit by herself and enjoy things outside all summer long. So I'm definitely looking forward to exploring summer water fun.
Having a picnic.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't lead to eating grass, as I say that. We're going to have to keep an eye on that too. Anything else, Steve?
I don't know that I can think of. I'm not good at these thinking about these things. I'll talk about anything, but I don't.
We're still we're trying the amber necklace with her again.
Questionable. It's
less effective as it was on Elias.
Now we also started on Elias later, but then it had a significant impact when we started.
Because I think we started his literally as his first tooth came in.
Yeah. And whereas with Fiara, when she started into the kind of really drooly stage, we started and she just kept right on drooling. Mm-hmm. It almost didn't seem to do anything, but...
You like my shirt,
don't you? See, Mommy?
She keeps staring at my shirt.
Did she get me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Man, it stings. You got me, baby girl. You got me. Don't give that look. I know that look.
I always like to say with her facial expressions and her personality, if uninterested were a person, it would be Fiara. Her look is always and what? Like just ... is her look at all times. As Dave was saying earlier, she's very curious. She wants to know what's happening, but once she knows, she's moved on. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, that's nice. Next. Mm-hmm. And that includes people. That includes you trying to get her to smile. It ain't happening.
That's not true. We can make her smile.
Yeah.
Right?
Can we make you smile? Do you want to smile for the people? You want to smile for the people, Miss Fiara? Okay, that's cool. So I think that kind of touches on all that I can think about. If you don't have anything else, David, we'll wrap up the video because Miss Fiara wants to have her nap.
You tired? Hi.
Oh, going back to Dad?
Hi. You can come. We can always hang out.
See you later.
We can always hang out.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there. What is your overall sentiment on going from one, a father of a boy,
Mm-hmm.
and one child, to father of two and a girl?
I'd say so. That was something that was just different. It's just cleaning diapers, and privates are a lot different to deal with, and like bath time's a lot different, and just a little bit harder, and so that's just kind of a funny thing that you got to learn, and just go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she's just it's no, like I don't think I'm much different in the sense that did I always want to like cuddle with Elia? Absolutely. And do I always want to cuddle with her? Sure. It's like well, you got it down again. But I think it'll be really, I'm most interested to just see how they develop and grow, and their bond that they kind of develop over time. Yeah, there's a pretty decent gap between them, but I think it's not too big that they'll still be able to have a good relationship, but it's also big enough that they can also have their own independence too. So I think that's really good, and so yeah, I think it'll be fun to just do the girl things, do the boy things, do any things, and just see how it all comes. And I just go with the flow.
Yes, he does.
I think having two kids, like I think the jump from 0 to 1 is way harder than 1 to 2.
Yeah.
You're the one who keeps saying no, it's the other way around.
No, I agree. 0 to 1 is much harder.
Yeah, like monumentally.
Yes,
yeah.
than 1 to 2.
Yeah, so this is just whatever, another mouth to feed
Yeah,
nothing.
I feel like we've just kind of been smooth sailing since starting.
Once we remembered what it was like to not sleep,
then
it was like, oh yeah, okay, this is fine. Everything's fine.
And I think the big difference I find with 1 to 2 is with 1, each stage felt so long. It felt incredibly long. Whereas with her, it's been the complete opposite effect, where it's been, oh my gosh, we're already out of that stage. I can't believe it. And that includes the sleep progressions, like all of those little things that felt so, like back then with Elia, it felt like, when will this kid ever sleep, was how it felt. Whereas with Fiara, by the time we kind of clue, like, oh, we're not sleeping anymore, then the stage is over.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's been much quicker, which has also led to me feeling a lot more, she's so tired. Her eyes are just so drowsy. It's led to me feeling a lot more calm, I think, with motherhood, of wanting to take in more of the moments, because I realize that though it feels long, it's actually going by very quickly. Like, I can't believe she's already trying to start to crawl. Like, you just got here. Can we just chill? But we can't, because they just keep going, right? They just keep growing. And I totally get how people end up with 7 children now. I get it. Because I'm just like, can I enjoy your infanthood a little bit? Like, you're already moving on in life. For me? Yes, you. So yeah, I say for me, the transition, like Dave said, I agree with Dave, transitioning from 0 to 1 is much harder because you don't know what you're doing. 1 to 2, so you can kind of remember, the muscle memory kicks in and you just push on through. And maybe it's easier for us to say because our kids are further apart in age.
And because we've also been doing this during a pandemic, and I've been home from work.
Exactly. So we're not going out and doing all that. Our schedules aren't busy like they were with Elia, so that might also be a factor. Adding on to what Dave said about their relationship, she admires her big brother. You can see it in her eyes. It is just beautiful to look at. She admires him so much, and I think that's just going to grow. And I look forward to seeing that relationship bloom as they get older. So
how do you feel, mommy?
I am extremely happy. I feel extremely blessed to be a mother of 2. I feel extremely blessed to be a mother to an amazing smart boy and a very lovely sweet little girl.
Tired little girl.
A very tired little girl. I am enjoying and looking forward to when we get to do our hair days together. Right, Fiona? So I'm definitely looking forward to that as her hair starts to grow in a little bit more and I can start to do more with it. I'm looking forward to those types of moments, our tea parties, because mommy likes tea parties. I know I am being very stereotypical. I will admit that. I am a very stereotypical girl mom in that sense, in that yes, I want us to have tea parties. Yes, I want us to play with Barbies together. Yes, I want all of those things. I'm a girly girl, so I'm just gonna be flat out, some people don't appreciate that. They don't like pushing girl girl stereotypes on babies. I get it. But she's just gonna get to know that that's who her mom is. And if she doesn't like it, that's cool. But that's who mom is. Mom is a girly girl, and that's just what it is. She has that to balance out the rugged nature if she's interested in that. But yeah, so that's how I feel. I am happy. I am definitely less stressed, less anxious about parenting. Am I nervous to, girl hormones come in 8 years? Yes, very, very, because I think of myself, I'm like, I wasn't always a very pleasant child to deal with. So that part's a little bit nerve-wracking to think about, but I try not to. I try to just let's have fun today. We will get there when we get there, and I pray to God that He will carry us through and we'll all remain friends through those hormonal years together.
Oh, she'll be just a perfect princess.
Amen, bro. Amen. Yeah, I think that, did I miss anything on my response?
I don't think so. It's your response. I don't know.
Yeah, so that covers that. If you guys have any questions for us, anything you want to know from me, from Dave, please feel free to comment in the section. I can't speak. Comment in the comment box below. You guys know where I'm going with this. Feel free to do that thing. And there was something I was just about to comment that you said that I was going to just go back and respond on. Oh, cleaning. Yes, cleaning is very different with girls than it is with boys. I was not prepared, y'all. We were not prepared at the hospital. There were things that the nurse said that I was like, oh, okay, good to know. We did not know this. Yeah, things like little babies, TMI moment. If you're not cool with TMI, you might want to fast forward the next 30 seconds. But apparently little baby girls, when they're born, can have a period. Within the first, what was it? Do you remember how long she said it could be?
I don't know. No, I don't even remember that. No? I just remember the mucus.
Yeah, because she said it could be you might see blood.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't remember that. Okay, the nurse told us that can happen for little girls because it's the extra hormones from the mom in them can cause that to happen. Oof. So if we see that, don't be alarmed. I was alarmed when she shared that. Thankfully, she didn't really experience that.
We did mucus.
We had the mucus.
Yeah, that's what started the whole thing.
We had the mucus, but didn't have the actual period part happen.
Right, but it's still just a heads up on that.
The mucus alone was very concerning. So there was a learning curve to start out, and thankfully the nurses were great and they helped us through that first 48 hours at the hospital. So I just wanted to kind of go back in and say that. And yeah, that's all I have got to share.
Do you have anything? No, I just want a nap.
You just want a nap? You want to give them a smile goodbye?
Over here.
You want to give a smile?
See.
Just smile. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to our chat. And again, topic, conversation ideas, whatever you guys want to know from us, comment section below. We will gladly film. We're pretty much an open book, so whatever, let's chat. I know people reached out to me a lot in my last video, just on the sickle cell pregnancy and delivery experience. I do appreciate it very much. And I am always, for all those who asked me questions, and I think it was mainly on Instagram that I got a lot of the question DMs, I am always ready to answer. I am here to help anybody who is in my shoes, whether it's to advocate for themselves, to get help in going down the right direction. I am totally here for it. I know I have a great health team on my side, and I am always more than happy to share any knowledge that I can, that I've received from them, and etc., etc. So I just wanted to go back and touch on that. And I would like in the future to talk more to you guys about sickle cell, because I know it's not really a common, you're not going to find a lot of videos about sickle cell on YouTube. You're just not. Because a lot of us are taught to be ashamed of it. Therefore, we're not open to sharing our experiences and how we feel. I am very open to that because I believe I can find power in what I have and use that power to help others who may not have the same, resources, whatever the case is. So yeah, feel free to ask me questions. I'll gladly share anything. I'm hoping to get some more videos out there for you guys about my sickle cell experience, whether it's from childhood till today and all of that. So, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next video. We appreciate you. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we will see you next time. Bye!
Bye!
Ding! Yeah.